Today we're back in the bear cave. We are sitting here talking about the newest generation of the Black Diamond Camalot C4s. So these are not the ultralights. These are the actual C4 camalots. Now there's some really cool improvements that have happened here just recently. They've made them a little lighter. And one of the biggest features is this guy right here. The ability for the 4, 5, and 6 to lock in the locked position. So when it's on your rack, it's closed, and as soon as you pull on it, it opens back up again. Now, I have climbed with every version of the Black Diamond Camalots. I've had the Chenards at the very beginning, before they even became Black Diamond. I've got some of the double stems still on my rack that are great, and the smaller ones. I tend to, all the places I go to, tend to be larger handholds. So I have a lot of the larger cams. So I have the generation, 2s, generation 3-ish, mattering on who you talk to, the generation 3s, and now the generation 4, in my opinion, kind of like, the big advancements in them. There's been some small changes, but mainly these. Okay, so we still have, over all the other ones that I really, really love and I cannot get rid of, is the thumb loop. I love the thumb loop on this size, or the new versions, and that they didn't get rid of it like some of the other versions did. And so really, really big fan. I need that loop. I have to have that loop while I'm climbing, that I can sit there and flip that guy back up and really work it. Also, they've given you the same grip that we had on the old guys, really nice and tough. There's only a few real differences to update it, not really change the cam. The thing they did right off the bat is they lightened up all the lobes. So most of the weight in these bigger cams came out of the lobes themselves. They also have a really cool thing where they basically stiffened the shaft based on how heavy the head was. So you get the same amount of head wobble. So you'll notice that basically they wobble basically the same. Now I don't know if you guys can see that on there, but this is a number 3 and this is a number 5. Very similar wobble based on the stiffness they've made the shaft, which is really kind of a cool feature. So you get the same feel every single time you place them versus some of the old ones where you had large wobbles, and then you have the new, like this happens to be a new number 6, and this is a generation, 1, 2-ish, that has the number 5, which is really similar, but same thing. But you'll notice this is much stiffer compared to this guy that's just all over the place. Some people like that. Some people hated it. I think it makes it so every single one of them I place is really similar. Now, why, when I had the old generation, why did I switch to the new generation? One, I do carry a lot of large cams on my rack, okay? So my rack usually has at least 2 5s, 2 6s, 3 4s, and I have basically 3 all the way down to the bottom. Because I do so many different, most of my stuff is guiding now. So I'm actually setting up for kids groups, things like that. So a lot of it's top roping, things like that. I'm doing larger, major placements. So the weight really is a difference. So this happens to be like I said, this is a 5 here. So I kind of wanted to show you the difference in weight here, if we can get this guy to fire up. All right, so this is the new version right here. We're going to go ahead. We have it at 12.38 ounces. So now this is a generation 3-ish. And that is a 13, so 1 ounce heavier. Now keep in mind, that's a pound in 16 cams. And that seems to be kind of the standard here. Then if we get to the old school version, and this is a 4.5, which is really close to a 5. And they're the old versions. So if I lay this guy on here, this guy is 1 pound, 3 ounces. So definitely an advantage if you have the old school version. So definitely one of the things I do. But what I really, 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 really love, and I definitely have mainly changed out from, my standard version here, my standard, Gen 3-ish version, which still has the loop. So that's basically my definition of going from a 2 to a 3, is we now have the thumb loop. And which ones did I change out to go the new ones if they weren't ready to be changed out? I changed out the 4, the 5, and the 6. And I'll show you why here just real quick. I have 2 of these guys on my rack at least, if not a second or a third one, mattering on where I'm going to set up roots. I can sit there with this guy on my rack, and it basically pulls down and cinches onto my rack smaller than the one below it. So basically, this is a 6 now that is being held in place. It's now smaller than the 5 on my rack. Okay? Then the same thing with the 5. We have this guy cinches down. Now, this is a 4, even smaller than the 4 spread out. The 4 coming down here. We're coming down here to a 3. I'm basically going even smaller than a 3. Really a huge advantage in racking on your rack. As you can see how much better that racks on your setup to be able to rack that small. So huge advantage. I really love them. I definitely think everybody should be investing in these. I haven't noticed any damage I've had. Don't get me wrong. This is my newest cam. I just got another one of these guys to replace this old number 5. But I haven't noticed any placement problems. I haven't noticed any damaging any more than any of the old ones. I have definitely noticed the weight, and I have really, really enjoyed this feature of being able to have it closed down. Now, as soon as you pull it off your rack, you take it in your fingers and you pull on it, it releases. So super cool. They basically have like these little paper clip things on the side, pops down, pops down. They've also stated that they have not seen any damage to the springs when left this way on your rack for multiple, months, if not years. So they're a fairly new product for right now. This is, 2021. So they came out, 2019, 2020, mattering when you were able to get them. But huge advantage, guys. I really like it. I definitely think you guys should go out and pick some up. If you have any questions, leave them in the bottom. Even if it's just, hey, that was a great video, or I hated the video, or you were totally wrong, leave it at the bottom. Like, share, and hit us up with any questions you guys have of what you want to see next. Our next video will be dealing with these Generation 2 early versions, the 3.5, 4, and 4.5, and 5. Should I buy them? Should I leave them on my rack? What should I do with them? So you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.